Orion Vale commands the sprawling biotech megacorp Novagen, orbiting Earth on a towering orbital station. His brilliance has saved countless lives through genetic innovation, yet his personal life is sterile. He exists in a rhythm of board meetings, lab inspections, and media appearances, commanding respect, but feeling hollow. Friends and colleagues admire his intellect, but never reach his inner self. In his private quarters, Orion's walls are lined with awards, yet his reflections reveal a void. He wonders about his past choices, especially about Lira, a daughter he's never met. Memories of impulsive decisions made decades ago surfaced how he pursued scientific breakthroughs over human bonds. The emptiness gnaws at him. He has built a life of efficiency and control, but missed emotional milestones. His interactions with AI assistants and holographic colleagues feel sterile, accentuating his loneliness. The narrative shows Orion moving through the station, performing flawlessly in public, while internally questioning his worth and longing for authentic human connection. This section establishes the central conflict. Orion's competence in external life contrasts with emotional detachment, setting the stage for his journey toward reconnection and transformation. A transmission arrives. Lira, a genetically enhanced 10-year-old girl from Earth, has been assigned to live under Orion's guardianship due to political and ecological emergencies on her home colony. Orion reacts with disbelief and unease. He never prepared for a parental role, and the girl challenges his meticulously ordered life. Lira is perceptive, questioning, and fearless. She immediately notices Orion's emotional distance, calling him out on his habitual coldness. Early interactions are awkward. She rearranges his meticulously organized quarters, challenges his meal routines, and asks about the family he never spoke of. Orion attempts to assert authority, only to discover that Lira is remarkably independent and stubborn. Their friction sparks moments of humor, confusion, and discomfort as she explores the orbital station. Lira uncovers layers of Orion's world-automated labs, personal archives, and private simulations, but also his solitude. Each encounter presses Orion to confront feelings he has long ignored: guilt, fear of failure, and the consequences of neglect. Lira's presence unsettles his routines and introduces unpredictability, forcing him to confront the emotional void in a life of achievements and to begin questioning what truly matters beyond status and accolades. Orion struggles to balance commanding the orbital station and caring for Lira. His attempts at fatherhood are clumsy. Mealtime routines fail as Lira insists on cooking alien delicacies. Gravity simulators turn training sessions into comedic chaos. He experiments with parenting methods, sometimes overcompensating with rules, sometimes giving in to her demands, often fumbling. Lira's independence clashes with Orion's attempts to establish order, but her cleverness slowly earns his respect. They navigate school simulations, engineering projects, and ethical dilemmas together. Orion begins noticing subtle aspects of her personality: curiosity, empathy, and resilience, which awaken his own long-suppressed emotional capacity through shared challenges, including navigating malfunctioning drones and orbital storms. Orion reflects on his past missteps and how he prioritized work over bonds. Each interaction, though flawed, lays groundwork for trust. Humor and frustration coexist. Arguments over protocol are punctuated with laughter and moments of awe at Lira's ingenuity. Orion starts integrating emotional presence into his life, realizing that leadership is meaningless without personal connection. Lira is not only learning from him, she is teaching him vulnerability, patience, and courage. Their evolving relationship establishes the emotional arc of growth, bonding, and mutual respect. Tensions escalate when Lira asks about her mother and Orion's absence from her life. His initial responses are defensive, revealing shame, regret, and fear of exposing emotional weakness. Lira's questions strike at his carefully maintained ego. Memories of choices he made for ambition over family replay like simulations in his mind. This section focuses on raw, introspective emotional beats. Orion experiences panic and avoidance, retreats into his private lab, and runs simulations to process guilt. Lyra's persistence forces him to confront truths he has long suppressed. Conflicts flare. He struggles to provide honest answers without exposing himself too fully, while Lyra tests the limits of his patience. Their dialogues are tense, punctuated by silences, awkward pauses, and moments of quiet reflection. Orion's internal monologue reveals the difficulty of integrating self-discipline, emotional openness, and accountability. The confrontation ends with a fragile truce. Orion admits some responsibility, though imperfectly, while Lira recognizes his efforts, signaling the first step toward genuine reconciliation and the dismantling of emotional barriers. After initial friction, Orion and Lira begin forming genuine bonds, shared activities navigating asteroid fields, repairing habitat modules, and observing celestial phenomena. Trust and vulnerability to grow. Orion prioritizes her emotional needs over professional obligations. Showing subtle shifts in behavior, he pauses meetings to help her learn, improvises lessons tailored to her curiosity, and engages in playful activities he once deemed frivolous. Lira, in turn, becomes a source of emotional insight, guiding him in understanding, empathy, forgiveness, and joy. The narrative emphasizes small victories of human connection, quiet conversations, shared discoveries, and laughter in the void of space. Orion begins to feel companionship and belonging beyond professional admiration. Emotional intimacy deepens, with Orion allowing himself moments of fear, hope, and love he had long suppressed. Lira thrives under attention and validation, while Orion discovers purpose beyond achievement. Their relationship evolves from transactional to reciprocal. Lessons, care, and trust flow both ways. This section highlights the transformation from isolation to emotional engagement. reinforcing the story's core theme of personal growth through meaningful relationships. Professional and political pressures intensify. Rogue factions challenge Novagen's control of genetic technology. Environmental disasters threaten orbital colonies. And media scrutiny exposes past ethical lapses. Orion must protect both the station and Lira, navigating diplomatic meetings, emergency protocols, and security breaches. Lira's presence complicates decision-making. He must weigh her safety against strategic necessities. Tensions arise with colleagues questioning his judgment, while Lira demands inclusion in high-stakes discussions, challenging hierarchical norms. Ethical dilemmas test Orion's evolution. Should he compromise values to save lives, or stay rigidly principled? Each crisis underscores the stakes of balancing professional responsibility with parental care. The narrative conveys high tension, urgency, and internal conflict. Orion must reconcile ambition, morality, and protection of family. Lira's perspective is pivotal. She observes the cost of leadership, the weight of decisions, and the necessity of courage. These trials accelerate Orion's transformation, forging resilience, adaptability, and prioritization of emotional bonds over cold strategy. This section deepens the story's suspenseful and dramatic arc, setting up the climactic confrontation with both internal and external forces. A catastrophic orbital storm threatens the station. Life support systems fail. Orion must make immediate decisions that put Lira and the crew at risk. The danger mirrors his internal crisis. Past neglect, emotional absence, and avoidance of responsibility come crashing down. Amid panic and chaos, Orion demonstrates courage and leadership, protecting Lira and coordinating survival efforts. Emotional breakthroughs occur as he expresses genuine concern, vulnerability, and love. An unguarded connection with Lira solidifies. The section emphasizes high-stakes action intertwined with internal transformation. Orion's competence is not only technical but emotional. Lira witnesses his authenticity, reinforcing trust. The crisis forces him to prioritize human connection over ambition, fully embracing his role as a father and mentor. In the aftermath, survival and teamwork become metaphors for personal growth. Success is measured not only in scientific achievement, but in relational depth and moral courage. The station stabilizes, threats are neutralized, and routines resume. Orion and Lira establish a balanced life, blending professional duties, personal connection, and shared adventures. Emotional intimacy deepens. Moments of humor, storytelling, and mutual respect define daily interactions. Orion engages in genuine friendships and explores romantic possibilities, now capable of vulnerability. Lira thrives academically and emotionally, feeling secure and valued. The narrative closes on hope and forward momentum. Orion is still a brilliant scientist, but now a connected father, capable of empathy, patience, and love. The orbital city hums with life, representing both technological and emotional restoration. The story ends with an open horizon, literal and metaphorical, signifying new adventures, continued growth, and the enduring power of human bonds amidst futuristic landscapes.